dive right, cause it can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
I just wanted to touch on this because this is kind of breaking, and this I won't talk about it long as the other news. The Watson news is a little more interesting and impactful in the NFL realm. But Vish, did you have any quick thoughts on the Packers signing Whitney Mercilus? It came out reported today the Packers have had injuries at outside linebacker, but did you have any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I've not watched a lot of Whitney Mercilus over the last 2 years. I know Whitney Mercilus was a very good player, but there's not been a lot of reasons to watch the Houston Texans defense over the last 2 years. So, I mean, just from a couple games I've seen here and there on TV, I know he's still impactful. I mean, you go through his numbers, it looks like he's still playing good football. I mean, he's a very good veteran player who's been a very good player for a long time in the league. I think he's going to add to the Packers as a situational pass rusher. I mean, we've talked about the Packers defense in the past. We've had a little bit of question marks about their front seven. Their secondary obviously is good, especially once Jair Alexander comes back from injury. It'll be very good. Amos is playing good football. Eric Stokes has been excellent. He's really physical, aggressive, and he's a great athlete. And he plays with a ton of confidence, and those traits are showing off when he plays on the field. But I think the situational pass rusher will be helpful. Z Smith is going to come back soon. So Z Smith, Mercilus, some combination of Rashawn Gary, and then, of course, Kenny Clark, who's having an outstanding season so far this season. So I think overall it is a good signing. It's a helpful signing for the Packers. I think it'll be more impactful than the Jalen Smith signing.
Oh, it will be more impactful than the Jalen Smith signing. That's for sure. But I had three main takeaways. So for the Packers, first one being, it was reported that Whitney Mercilus actually turned down offers for bigger money to come to the Packers. Now, this is something that I feel like when this happens, it's a telltale sign that he wanted to go to this team specifically for contention. And he thought that the Packers were in better contention than some of the other teams that offered him a contract, which is just awesome because obviously you want to feel validated in the fact that, someone's coming to a team because he wants to win and he thinks he has a better chance there, so he's willing to sacrifice more money. That's number one. Number two, the Packers outside linebacker situation coming into the year looked great, right? You had Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, the Smith brothers, and then you had Rashawn Gary. All three of them. Preston was having a down year last year, so you were kind of anticipating Gary starting and then Preston being the third guy that comes in when one of them needs a breather or to pass rush. Well, it just so happens that Preston Smith has been really, really solid this year in both against the run and the pass, which was a bit of a pleasant surprise coming into the year. Bad thing for the Packers was Zadarius Smith being injured for short term, and then it seems it's going to be more long term now, and hopefully he'll come back by the end of the regular season. But knowing that Preston Smith also got recently injured and he's not 100%, which is concerning. So that really only leaves you with Rashawn Gary, Jonathan Garvin, and Ladarius Hamilton. Now, Hamilton and Garvin, I don't know if you've even heard of them, Vish, because they haven't really played all that much up until these injuries started coming in. And so having guys who really aren't getting snaps be your starters is rather concerning. And getting someone like Mercilus, who he's played roughly 50% of the snaps for the Texans this year, just getting him to be a rotational guy is pretty huge. And I think pass rush is kind of his forte, you could say. So having better pass rush is always a good thing, especially for a team like the Packers that's not really been their best attribute on defense. So there's that. And then the third and final point is that the Packers have had really good success with these mid-season signings or, signing veterans sort of before the season or right after the season. Instantly, you can think of Devondre Campbell before the season. He's been amazing. PFF has him as one of the highest linebackers starting for the Packers. Never thought I'd say that. But then you have some people like Tyler Irvin, who was signed as a kick returner and gadget guy on offense. Snacks Harrison, who played on the interior D-line for a little bit a few years ago. Ahmad Brooks, who they signed from the Niners to play edge a couple years ago mid-season. So they've done this, and they've had relatively good success signing these guys. And I think Mercilus is going to be the next one in this line of guys who they've been really good in the past. They come here, they have some juice left, and they can contribute. And that's really what the Packers need right now.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think you laid it out with all the injuries. I have heard of Hamilton. I've not heard of the other guy, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Green Bay has proven that they're firmly entrenched as one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NFC, which is what we expected before the season. I think a lot of people were thrown for a loop after that Week 1 game against New Orleans, but it's mostly settled. Aaron Rodgers is back to playing unbelievable. He's playing at an MVP level. Devontae Adams is putting on a show, and Aaron Jones has been excellent. And so I think overall, yeah, I think he definitely helps. And I think even when those guys do come back, having a wily veteran like Whitney Mercilus who knows how to get pressure on the quarterback consistently will be useful and will be helpful, because you can never have enough edge rushers. And of course, with Kenny Clark just dominating inside, I think it'll help out Whitney Mercilus quite a bit.